to do is this lattice work next, and this is a multi-process type thing, okay? And I'm going to show you basically two ways of actually doing it, and it's kind of up to you how you utilize it afterwards. Okay. The first thing we're going to have to start out with is basically a few voxels. Just kind of drop down up into the air here. I'm going to zoom in this so you can actually see this. The first one I'm going to grab and I'm going to smooth it down into a microvoxel, and I'm going to make this as tiny as I can, but not too tiny that you can't see it, okay? But the idea here is to make it as tiny as possible, because what we're going to be using this for is very important for what we're doing later. Now, when you go to do it yourself, try to make it as tiny as possible without losing it and making it go and disappearing, okay? Now, after we have this selected here, let's go back to my selection tool, and this thing is teeny tiny. Hopefully you can see it here on the screen here. It's really teeny tiny here, so it's going to be easy to lose. But if you can get it smaller than this size, the better for what we're going to be using it for. Now I'm going to hit Control C to copy that. I'm going to come over to this voxel, this prime voxel that I laid down earlier. Control V to paste, and hopefully I can get it to where I can see it. Because this is teeny tiny. And if my hand would get out of the way. I almost wish they'd get rid of my hand. I really can't see this thing just yet. Ah, there it goes. So I have it on the side of my voxel now. I want to put it right in the center, not on the corners, and I'm going to go up to each corner of the points. I want it in that center part there. And you can see I've got it on the first one. I'm going to bring it to the back side, down to, and then back to me too. So I'm going to make this really thin panel. I'm going to select it, copy it, paste it, and I'm going to make 3 of these in a row, skipping 1 voxel between each paste, so I have it sitting up like this. Now I'm going to take my line tool, go select that top face of this, drag it over to the last one, and click. And this is going to basically just smash that voxel down back to the top side of a standard prime voxel. And it's going to just drop it back down like this, instead of having it all, extruded out from the megavoxel size. And I'm going to do this on the top and the bottom, and then I'm going to save one of these in the process, because I'm going to use it later on in this process here. And there's a reason why I'm using 3 of these, and that is because sometimes if you try to do it by itself, there's always deformations on at least one of them. So it's better to do 2 or 3 of them at the same time, because one of them will always come out good. Okay, so I've smashed that down into this type of a shape, right? I'm going to select this center one, and I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it off to the side, because I'm going to use that in a moment. Now I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to drag my line tool over the sides of it, because I want to actually flatten this out. It's a small panel, but it's literally the size of a prime voxel square, like this. Okay, and let's grab this side like so. All right, so now I have this, okay? Now, I'm going to take this one that I created earlier. Oops, let's first grab one of our small ones. Let's bring it over here so we can kind of play with it. I'm going to grab this one that I pulled out earlier. I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to, hold on a second, I need to change my textures here. I'm going to paint that one so you can actually see the difference when I go to paste this one in. This one here, Control C to copy. I want to paste that one right next to this one. Now you can see it literally pushed that side of it inwards. Okay? And this is what I'm after. Okay, now we're going to take a standard Prime Voxel, pull it up into the air, and check. Let's paint it something else. Let's go back to our metal. If I can get it to actually, there we go. For some reason, my selection is not changing. There we go. Let's turn it into a black cube. I'm going to select that one on the very end that we crushed earlier here. Control C to copy. And I'm going to paste this on the top and the bottom corners all the way around this here. So kind of pay attention to where I'm pasting these here. There's one. I'm going to go up one. Oops. Sorry about that. Drop it back down. Right here. Now I'm going to come back over to where I was before, and I'm going to drop down one, two, go over two, and paste. And this is going to create this shape. And the reason why we went through all that process is because I have made this into an offset voxel. So if I select it this way, you can see it only resides in one half of the shape. Literally, like that. So it's literally totally offset, but I have this shape, and this is the shape that I'm after here, because this is going to be really cool for what we're doing next. Once I have this shape, I'm gold. Everything else is cake, okay? So let's bring this up, and we're going to paste it. I'm going to hit V to mirror it downwards. I'm going to paste it. Go to the side like this, go back upwards, mirror it, and paste it. Go up, over, up and down, mirror it, bring it down, paste it. Now, it kind of doesn't make any sense at the moment, but you'll see that when I come in here and I change my colors like this, I have this offset triangular shape. The coolest thing here is these two center voxels. I can rinse and repeat these particular two voxels over and over again to create this lattice. And if you give me a moment here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. If I bring this down and paste, over, paste, so now I have like these sections this way. Now coming back up into the center, I'll come out towards me, mirror it, go back two, and paste. You can see I can put these back to back in this fashion. Now if I select them this way, you'll see that they're literally taking up the space of two voxels this way, but they literally have this airspace, but they're really thin, so they're going to look really cool when I get it done. Now I can come back into my paste, come over, paste. I'm going to go down, over, and paste one at the bottom, up two, over one, up, over, up. I'm going to paste some extra ones in here so this all kind of comes together the way I want it. Come to the back side, Vita mirror, come down, paste, and it's all about your placement of exactly where you want to put this. But at the same time, if you look at this, the way this thing is kind of coming together, it creates that lattice shape just by the placement of how your voxels are actually sitting. And hopefully I can get this all together so it makes a little bit more sense. But just with this one shape that I've created here, with these two voxels, I start creating that lattice. And hopefully this will make more sense when I get more of these in here, so bear with me a moment while I put all this together. Okay. Now you can kind of tell that these are not pristine voxels, but they, once you get them painted, it won't really, it'll be a lot cleaner. But the kind of goal of what we're trying to build here is just that lattice look. Now the smaller that voxel is that you use to actually create this, the cleaner these voxels are going to be. But I didn't want to go too small that you couldn't be able to see it on the screen here. So so what you do with this is it's pretty much going to be up to you. But like I said, the smaller you can make that initial voxel to create these triangles, the better. Alright, and I'm almost done, and then we'll paint this up and you'll be able to see the output from this. I think that'll do for what we're going to be doing here. But let's go ahead and jump over to a wood texture. Let's go with a stripe wood, just standard wood here, and I'm going to paint this one on the front. And for the back, I think I'm going to go with a burled wood, something darker, to kind of make this kind of stand out. Everything always looks better when you paint it. So now we have this lattice work, and these very bottom voxels down here, if I come in here and select this top one of the little rotated square and come in here and drop that in, if I can get it lined up here. I can pretty much even out those the very ends to where they're actually squared off with whatever surface you're going to actually connect it to. So you can do like that for the bottom sections. But the ultimate goal is you want to make these triangle pieces as clean as possible, because the cleaner they are, the less they're they're going to look with this little bumping edge that kind of comes across this right here. But doing it with the size of voxel that I use, you'll see that it actually has thickness, and the smaller you make that micro voxel, the cleaner that triangle is going to come out. And so literally the point's going to come out to a sharp point if you use a thinner panel in the process. So that is creating lattice.